Hello, my dear students. In this video, I'll continue with the next chapter of the third module. In the previous video, I have discussed the pattern matching with the regular expressions chapter, and in this video, I'll continue with the next chapter, that is reading and writing the files. And this chapter will deal with the concepts known as the paths with respect to the files and the folders. We'll see how we can deal with the paths in the Python, and we also see how we'll be able to open the files and read the contents of the files, and how we'll be able to write the contents into the files. So before discussing the commands that are required for doing all these things, let us see what is meant by the paths of a file. So all of you already know how to create the any file. Files may be in the form of the text files, it may be in the form of the word file, it may be the video file, it may be the image file. So any kind of the file can be opened, but right now in this chapter we are going to deal with the simple files known as the .txt files and the .py files. So a file has the two key properties, so a file name and a path. So the most important property of the file for any file is the name of the file and along with the path. So path in the sense the location where the file has been stored in the system. For example, you can see here, so if we say that the docx is a file, so this is a name of the file, and what is the path of this file? So the entire location with consisting of the every intermediate directory is said to be as the path of the file. So for example, this project.docx has been stored in the C drive, followed by the users folder. Within the users, it is stored in the aswegart folder, and within this aswegart in the documents folder, you have the file known as the project.docx. So the entire folder which is used for storing this file is said to be as the path of that file. So how we can able to define or write the file path into the OS here. So every OS has a different notations that is used for writing the path of a file. So on Windows, paths are written using the backslashes as a separator between the each folder. So as I explained in the previous slide, so here each these folders are separated with a backslash in the Windows operating system. So the same thing in the Linux, it is used with the forward slash. So this is so if you want to define or if you want to write it explicitly, so you need to be very careful with these slashes that is being used for writing the pipe in the respective OSs. So if you are using the Windows operating system, it should be mandatorily backslashes. If you are using the Linux operating system, it should be mandatorily the forward slash operator. So these two, remembering these two are going to be little tedious, which can be done very easily in the in Python. So automatically it is done with the function known as the os.path.join function. So here you can see, so for using the all the OS related functions, you need to import a module known as the OS, which is done as import OS. So the next thing is, if you want to create a path for a particular file with respect to that OS, so here you are not going to specify the which OS being used. So simply you are going to use it with the OS module dot path dot join, and as a arguments to this function, you are going to pass the all the intermediate folders to create path for a particular file. So I'll just show it here. So I'll import OS. So OS dot path dot join. So as a arguments here, you need to specify the name of the each folder or else the directory where the file has been stored. So directory one, I'll simply take it as a name as a dir1, dir2, and dir3. So here you have to specify the folders in which the file has been stored. Sorry, made some mistake over. So each of these values needs to be separately specified as a separate strings here. So dir1, complete this string here. Next, open the another string value dir2, So complete it. Open the third one. So similarly, not restricted to only three values. So you can take the as many as values depending upon the number of folders you want to specify in the path here. So you can see here simply by using this, the path is created with the backward slashes because the OS that is being used with this system is the Windows. I hope it is clear to you people. So coming to the next concept, that is the getting the current directory where it is working, and the command used for changing the directory is os.chdr, and for reading the current directory it is get cwd. So I hope you know what is meant by the current directory and what is meant by the change directory. So once you boot up your system and you are going to start with your system, by default every time you put up the system it is going to start with the C drive itself, which is going to be considered as the current directory. And if you want to change the directory with which you want to work, so you can go for doing it by using the command known as a chdir. We will see again with an example here. So first you should know the current directory here. So all these methods what I am discussing here, it is used with the help of the module known as a OS. So OS dot so get cwd is nothing but the get current directory here. So you can see here, so once I pressed it here, get current directory, you can see here, one as I told, once you boot up the system, by default all the execution is going to done with the respective C drive, and with the here I'm working means this is the Python that has been installed here with the this drive, so that's why it is giving you the directory where it is currently being executed. It's not like that you cannot change the directory. You can go for changing the directory by using the get os.chdr method. So you need to pass the argument, that is the absolute path name to which you want to change this directory. So I'm interested to change to the directory where all the files are being stored here. So just a minute. So I just want to shift it to the E drive, followed to the college folder, and followed to the classes folder, and within this path, and again within this the fifth sim path. So I want to switch. I want my current working directory to be switched to this path. So I'll just select this entire path just on what I have opened. So then as a argument I'm going to paste it here. You can see here from the C drive I want switch to the E drive, followed by the college folder, classes, pap, and AD. So complete the string and close the bracket and press the enter. So you can see here the change directory has been executed and it has switched to the E drive from the C drive. So if you want to check, you can check it os dot get cwd. So see where currently your position for the execution. So you can see here your current working directory has been switched to the E drive and to the respective paths what has been given as a argument over here. So I hope you got to know that what is the get current directory command and what is the change directory command here. So coming to the paths, there are the two types of path, the absolute path and the relative path. So absolute path, which always begins with the root folder, and relative path is the relative to the program's current working directory. So you also have the dot and the double dot operators that you can use for the paths here. But what is a dot here is the single dot for a folder name is a shorthand for the disk directory that is currently where you are working. So that directory can be shortly mentioned with a single dot here, and two dots can be mentioned for using the parent folder. So let me clear you this thing with this figure here. You can see here there is some example that has been taken here, which is working with a C drive, and within the C drive we have the backon as a folder, and within this backon you have the fizz, and within the fizz you have the spam txt, and within the backon itself you have the directory file as a spam.txt. spam.txt once again. And within the C drive, along with the background, you have the one more folder as a X, which contains the spam.txt. And within the C itself, you have the spam.txt. That means the spam.txt exists in almost all the locations over here. So with this as a position in your system, suppose if you have the files in this way, so how you are going to differentiate as a relative path and the absolute path here? So you can see for the first example, just to mention the C drive as a relative path, you can take it as a two dots followed by the backward slash, which tells that it is a C drive with the current location, that is the parent location, that is the C drive. And being absolute path, you are going to take the name as it is here. So if you want to specify the backon, the relative path for this backon is to the current folder. So this is a current folder what you are mentioning with the backward slash. And if you want to take it as the absolute path, so from the beginning you have to specify everything. You can see a C colon backslash and the backon. So similarly for the fizz, as I told you, dot slash fizz, and complete path has to be mentioned as the absolute path here. So the only respective with the current location, if you specify the path, it is said to be as the relative path. And if you specify everything from the beginning till the location where you are positioned, so that is said to be as the absolute path here. So to the almost all examples you can see here, so dot is going to single dot specify the current directory slash, so the fizz folder and the name of the file. So this is a relative path with respect to this file here. But if you want to take the same file and if you want to define with the absolute path, you can see here you need to start naming from here C drive, backon, and within the fizz you have the spam.txt. So this is how you can differentiate between the relative paths and the absolute path. So as with the further examples as well. So you can also create the folders with a function known as the make dirs, which is available with the OS module here. So you can see here how you can use it. So almost all the methods, 99% of all the methods that I'm discussing here is going to work with the OS module itself. So by default, if you want to use these methods, you need to import the module known as a OS here. So OS make dirs. So with as a parameter to this make dirs method, you need to specify the path where you want to create the folder. So this function make dirs is used to create a directory. So directory or folder are one and the same. So both the things I might be using it differently, but both are going to give the same information. That is dir directory is also same. If I use the folder, it is also going to mean the same thing. So here os.makeDirs means it is going to create a new directory within the folder what you are specifying here. So C drive, within the C drive you want to go for the delicious, under the delicious walnut, and under this walnut you want to just create this new folder here. Okay, so let me show you with an execution here. So I want to create the new folder within the same content here. So you can see in this entire content you don't have the any folders. So folders are indicate, the folders are nothing but these which are shown with the yellow symbol here. So these are the folders. So you can concentrate here. You don't have the any folder named as a demo here. So to this same location I just want to insert the one more folder named as a demo with the help of this make dirs command here. So let me make it os.mkdirs. So the name of the command is mkdirs command, isn't it? So to this I want to specify the same location, and within this I want to create a folder known as a demo here. I'll just press the enter. OS doesn't have the attribute mkdirs. Sorry, I made a mistake here. So it is MAK, right? So I just took it as a MK here. So os dot make dirs with the value, and within this I just want to create the one more new folder known as a demo here. So it is not going to return anything, instead a demo folder will be created over there. So let's check it out whether demo folder has been created or not. So here you can see the demo folder has been created, which is empty here. So this is how you are going to create the new folder with the help of the make dirs method, which is available with the OS module here. So coming to the next concept, that is the module known as the os.path. So for this you need not have to separately import import os.path. So within the OS module itself you can use it with the one more extension as a os.path here. So what are the different three methods that are available with this module is os.path.absolute path and os.path.isAbsolutePath and os.path dot relative path. So here all these three methods are used with the os.path. So make sure that if you are using these methods, they have to be used with the os.path but not with the only os here. So what does each of these methods does here, we'll see here. So calling os.path.absolute path, and here to as an argument you have to pass the path as an argument to this method here, will return a string of the absolute path of the argument. So this is an easy way to convert a relative path to an absolute path. So os.path.isAbsolute, so it is going to give the result either as a true or false to tell that whether it is a absolute path or not. So coming to this next method, it is going to create the relative path. To this you have to pass the two arguments, the path and the start. So it will return a string of the relative path from the start, starting with this position to the path. So if the start is not provided, the current working directory is used as a path here. So let us see with again here as with the example. os.path.absolute. Let us see what is the function path. So to this you have to pass the argument the absolute path. So I'll just take only the path followed by the adp underscore fifthsym. So let's see what output we'll get. So if you pass only this path, this is set as the relative path. So since you have used the absolute path as a method over here, so it is going to fetch the complete path where this entire location has been positioned. So you can see it, E drive, college, classes, everything will be fetched from the first position, that is the root directory here. So similarly we'll see absolute path dot relative path. So to this I'll pass the first I have to give the, it is going to take the two arguments, and I have not specified the second argument, so by default it will give you the value as a current directory. So that dot is the current is the notation used for indicating the current directory here. So try to execute even the isAbsolute path, for which you can specify even the relative path also as an argument and even the absolute path also as an argument. So for the absolute path it will give you the result as a true. If you had specified the relative path, it will give you the result as a false. So experiment with that by yourself. So there is a one more method known as a os.path.dir name, for which you are going to give the again the absolute path as an argument here. So it will return a string of everything that comes before the last slash in the path argument. And similarly you have the one more method known as the os.path.base name, so for which you will give the again the absolute path as an argument. It will also return a string of everything but that comes after the last slash. For example, here you can see, consider this as an absolute path here. So the last slash in this example here is this one. So if you use this method on this value, so dir name, so it will give you the everything which comes before this last slash. But if you use the base name as an argument, it is going to give you the everything that comes after the last slash here. So let us see with an example now here. Os dot path dot dir name. The name of the method is dir name. To this I'll pass this as a absolute path here. So before I execute, so let us identify the last slash that appears in this path is this one. So what we will get, we need to get the all the values from e to this path here. So let us see what we will get here. You can see here we are getting all the values starting with the e to this path. So that is all the values before the last slash if you use the dir name. So if we use the one more method, that is the base name. To this I'll pass the same argument. So to this you are going to get the all the values that comes after the last slash over here. So why you are getting is, it is a definition to be taken that dir name is the all the values that is going to appear before the last slash, and base name is the all the value that is going to appear after the last slash value here. I hope it is clear to you. So if you need a path directory name and the base name together, so you can fetch both the together. That can be done using the split method. To the os.path, you are going to use the split, and for this you are going to pass the argument the absolute path for which you want to get both the directory name and the base name here. So it is going to give you the result in the form of a tuple. So even though you are using the split with this part, don't be confused. If you use the split method on the strings, probably you are going to get the result as a list in the form of a list. But if you are going to use it with a path, os.path, you are going to get the results in the tuples. So the value of these tuples is, the first value is the directory name, that is from starting till the before the last slash value, and another value is the base name, which is going to appear after the last slash value here. So coming to the next method, that is finding the file sizes and the folder contents here. So for doing that, we have the two methods here. So the first method is os.path.get size of the path will return the size in bytes of the file in the path argument. So if you specify the either, it is going to take either the relative path or the absolute path, but the file which is going to appear at the last value to this path, the size of that file is going to be returned as a result in terms of the bytes. So if you want to get to know the all the contents of that folder for the specific folder, that is the list of the files that you want to use, so in that case you can go for using the os.list dir. Specifying the path will give you the list of the files that is going to be appearing in that path over there. So now let us see how does it executes here. So os dot path dot get size. So to this I'll pass the same argument here. So not only the folder, here I'll specify the name of the file for which I want to know the size here. So if you want to, I want to show you that in this entire folder you have the text file as a hello, in which you have this content here. So hello world, good morning. So I just want to know the size of this content, the size of this file here. So for that I'll give the file name as a hello.txt and press the enter. So you can see here we got the value as a 23 bytes. So it is not going to give you the unit over here. So by default, whatever the value you are going to get, it is in terms of the bytes itself. So that means you need to use this get size method on the module os dot path dot get size. To this you need to specify the path of that file, the absolute path of that file. So it will give you the result, that is the size of this file, the contents of the size of the contents of this file in terms of the bytes here. So one more method that we are discussing here is list directory. So the name of the method is list list dir list directory, which needs to be used again with the os dot path here. So to this method, I want to specify the absolute path as an argument here. So here I'm not going to specify the file name, because I just want to know the what are the total number of the files or the folders that are present in this absolute path. That is, I just want to know within this adp underscore fifth underscore sem, so within this how many different contents are over there, so which can be known with the method known as a list dir. So if I press, sorry, so you can see here what mistake I have done. So you can see here the get size is used to the os dot path dot get size. The list dir is used with the only os. So such kind of mistakes might happen. So for that you need to remember for the every method, yeah, and so that you can use it with the respective modules itself. The get size more method is used with the os dot path, whereas the list dir method is used only with the os module here. So you can see here, if I press enter, so you are going to get a list here. So the result is in the form of a list. So what are the contents of this list are